morning and welcome to Kids Church. I'm so happy that you joined me today. If this is your first time joining us for a TCC Kids Church, I want to say hello, welcome, and thank you for joining us. We love new friends at TCC Kids, and we also love birthdays. So if you celebrated a birthday in the past week, we want to wish you a very happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Today, we're going to be continuing our series on unlikely heroes. All summer long, we're talking about unlikely heroes. An unlikely hero is someone that we wouldn't really think would be a hero. They're not usually the fastest or the strongest or the smartest, but the Bible is full of these kinds of heroes. It's full of stories of people that God used to be a part of His story. In a minute, we're going to learn about our next unlikely hero, but first, let's play a game. I hope you guys enjoyed that game. I love playing games. And when I think about today's lesson, I actually think about a game or a sport. And you know what that is? It's tennis. Because today in our lesson, we're going to be learning about God's love. When I think about God's love, it kind of reminds me of a tennis ball. See, this tennis ball can go all over the court, and God's love is like that too. God's love goes all over the place. And you know what? When we're playing tennis, we can hit the ball all over the court. And guess what? God invites us to be a part of His story in helping His love to reach all parts of the earth. But here's the thing. God's love is a lot bigger than a tennis ball. It's a little bit more like a beach ball. You guys, God's love is so great and so big. You can't even see my face, right? God's love is so great and so big, and it is for everyone. That's what we can learn today from Jonah.
Stories of the Bible. Jonah. This is Jonah. Jonah was a prophet. That means it was his job to tell people what God told him to say.
Yep.
One day, God told Jonah to go to Nineveh because the people of Nineveh were doing bad things. But instead, Jonah ran away.
Where are you, please?
And went to the port to board a ship, going the other way. He was hoping to get away from God. He sailed for a place called Tarshish. While he was at sea, God sent a great and powerful wind over the sea that caused a storm that seemed like it would break the ship apart. Fearing for their lives, the sailors tried everything they could think of to save the ship. Meanwhile, Jonah was sound asleep. So the captain went down and said, "How can you sleep at a time like this? Get up and pray to your God. Maybe he will help us." Then the crew figured out that Jonah was the reason for the storm. And they asked him, "Who are you? Why is this happening to us?" Jonah told them who he was and that he worshiped the one true God who made the sea. Then he told the sailors to throw him in the sea so the storm would stop.
No, why?
The sailors still tried to escape the storm, but it was no use. So they asked God for forgiveness and threw Jonah into the sea. The storm stopped at once.
Whoa!
The sailors were amazed at God's power and they vowed to serve him. Now God sent a great fish to swallow Jonah.
Great.
And Jonah was inside the fish for 3 days and nights. Jonah prayed to God from inside the fish, and God ordered the fish to spit Jonah out.
Yuck.
God told Jonah again to go to the city of Nineveh to tell them what God had said about them.
I get it.
This time, Jonah obeyed God and went to Nineveh to deliver God's message. The people of Nineveh stopped doing bad things and turned to God. They were saved because they listened to the message that God had given Jonah.
You guys, Jonah disobeyed God, and eventually he went and did what God told him to do, but he really didn't want to. And you know what? I think that he didn't really want to because he didn't understand how great and big God's love was. He didn't understand God's great big love for the people of Nineveh. Guys, God has a great big love for every single person in every single part of the world. And it's so awesome that God will use us to be a part of sharing his love with other people. If there's anything that you can learn from today's lesson, I hope it's this, that God loves us all with a great big love, and he invites us all to be a part of sharing that love with others. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time. Bye.